This is the Garmin Xero, the compact chronograph everyone wants to get. Except now, there's the Athlon Rangecraft Velocity Pro, with all the same features and a bit more affordable. But is it better than Xero? Let's find out. Let's skip the boring unboxing videos and just take a look at what you get inside the box. This is the Athlon Rangecraft. It is a velocity measuring radar chronograph, and it is a very compact device, little less than 3 inches. It's about 2.5 inches tall, about 3.5 inches wide, and a little more than an inch thick. The overall design is very similar to the Garmin Xero, from which it is hoping to dethrone. It has a good amount of improvements. It has a well thought out layout of controls. You have your power or your return or back button. It has your option delete button, has your OK button, and you have your cycling up and down for your menu. And on the other side, under this silicone cover, is a USB-C port, and it does come with a USB-C cable to charge the unit, and simply pressing down for a few seconds turns on the unit. There we go, Rangecraft, and it does tell you that you do need to position it about 4 to 10 inches away from your firearm and directly or pretty close to parallel to the end of your muzzle. So just say OK, that you understand that, and then you are presented with 4 menu items, and you can cycle through them. I won't go through all of the different settings because you have a manual for that and this would take forever, but let's just go with a quick setting. Quick session start, OK. Just decide which kind of firearm you're shooting, including other. Let's just go with rifle for now. OK. And select the velocity range. So as you can see here, it has it's optimized for 2 different settings. You have your high velocity, 1800 to 5000 FPS, and you have your lower velocity, like your rim fire or subsonics. So we are going to be shooting some 22 long rifle rimfire later, so let's just select that. And you have your minimum and maximum. All the information you need is right there in the face of it. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I should mention that it also comes with a tripod, by the way, and this is actually a weighted tripod, so that's nice because you do need that extra weight at the base. You know, you're out the range, it's kind of a blistery day. This is a pretty lightweight device, and you know, it could easily be knocked down by the wind, but this base, which splays out, which should provide a good amount of enough weight by itself, and it screws in through your standard 1/4 inch socket there, and that's pretty much all photo accessories, cameras are fit to that standard of 1/4 inch, and you just screw it onto your tripod there, or really any photo tripod will also do, and Bob's your uncle, you're ready to go. And it does come in a nice little case, padded case, to carry all of your things, including your tools and the USB charging cable as well. So there you go. Let's take it out to the range and test it out next. Before we get started with the test, I'd just like to take a quick break here to talk about this episode's sponsor, Aura. For the cost of just a VPN, I'm getting a whole suite of security services, including $1 million in identity theft insurance, and they're even removing me from those damn data broker listings. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you can try them for 14 days, free. And if you use that link, you're helping to support this channel. You know, identity fraud is a real thing, and with AI, it's all too easy to spoof your identity. That's why you should try out Aura. All right, let's get back to the tests. We're at the gun range, and my buddy Harry lent me his Garmin Xero, so we're going to be testing the velocity of CCI standard in my CZ457 with a Discovery Optics XED scope. Roughly similar in size and shape, the Rangecraft has a slightly larger LCD screen and 2 additional buttons for improved ergonomics. I can see here that the Rangecraft is displaying slightly faster numbers than the Xero, but the difference between 1076 and 1080 feet per second, or in this case 1084 and 1088 feet per second, is actually less than 1%. And since we don't have an independent third empirical data point, I'm not going to say one is more accurate than the other. And in some measurements, they were nearly identical. I also swapped the positions of the chronos, putting the Xero closer to the muzzle to see if there would be any difference in the differences between the chronos. But the shift didn't seem to make any difference. In addition, I also noticed that the Rangecraft had a faster calculation time than the Xero, allowing you to take shorter pauses between shots. Where this makes a difference is in how rapidly you can fire.
Three shots recorded only on the Garmin. All 5 shots recorded on the Athlon.
Alright, so what did you think? And I want to thank you for sticking with us and still watching the video at this point, which probably means you liked it. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell buttons, because that's absolutely free. They don't charge you to subscribe to this channel, but it does make a big difference. And I'd like to thank Athlon for sending out the Rangecraft finally for me to test. Now, I originally posted a video of my visit to the Athlon booth back at SHOT Show in January, and at that time they had anticipated this being released at the end of April for a street price of about $350. Now, we had no idea that there was going to be something called the tariff wars that would be happening after January. And in that case, what happened is, well, prices shot up, and also all the shipments out of China got delayed. So that's the reason why they didn't release this until the beginning of May, and at a slightly higher price, about $45, $49 more. But still under $3.99, or just about $3.99 with most retailers. And some folks out there were lucky enough to pre-order this back in January, February time when it was the lower price. And I'd gotten comments back that they got it for that price. So yeah, I don't know why people got so butthurt about the fact that the price went up. I don't blame Athlon for that. Let me know in the comments if you think everybody getting upset at Athlon is really not fair or not. One other thing is I got a chance to test this out. I borrowed a friend of mine's Garmin, and we tested them side by side, and you know what? They came out pretty darn close. Sometimes the readings were spot on, pretty much identical. Sometimes, but the other times, the Rangecraft would show anywhere between 5, 6, or sometimes even a few times 10 feet per second faster. Now, given that we're measuring velocities of about 1,060 feet per second, that averages out to about less than 1% difference between the readings between the Garmin and this. And I don't even know if the Garmin is accurate or if this is more accurate. I mean, you can't assume that, oh, this is inaccurate because the Garmin was showing a certain number. We don't know if the Garmin's more accurate than this. This could have been showing the correct numbers, and the Garmin could have been off for all we know. But my point is, the difference between the two ended up being about less than 1% of a difference in terms of the readings, and the price difference was much more significant, about $200. So yeah, and overall, one other thing, the way that the Rangecraft was better was that when we tried testing in rapid fire, the Garmin really can't measure shots faster than about a second and a half or to 2 seconds. If you fire faster than that, you start missing readings. The fact that this is cheaper and can record rapid fire, I think this makes this a really good choice. And if you're interested in picking one up, I've included product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com, and you'll find a link to that article in this video's description. I invite you to use the links in that article to help support this channel. And you can always help by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons. So thanks again for watching. God bless. Moondog out.
Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.